All right, it was almost 14 years ago that we had Charlie Sheen on, and he was going through some negotiations with 2.5 Men and CBS, and he had gotten suspended, and I saw him doing an interview. He was giving a lecture or tips. He was taking batting practice with the UCLA baseball team, and his words of advice were, don't do crack, drink chocolate milk. And I said, Paulie, reach out and see if Charlie wants to join us. And really, that's all we were going to do. We were just going to talk about that. But I want to play a portion of that conversation that I had with him. And this was on not being allowed on the lot at CBS for 2.5 Men. How'd you lose your voice?
Well, I went back to work, and I was banging on the stage door. Hello, where's everybody? And I don't know what happened. I guess they're closed.
They won't let you back in?
Nobody told me. Nobody told me. I just figured, I'm supposed to go back to work because I'm ready.
Wait, you're on hiatus?
No, we're on forced hiatus. They said, you get ready, we'll get ready, and I got ready. I went back. Nobody's there. I don't know what to tell you, Dan. Nobody's there.
Well, wait, how do they tell you? You're the star of 2.5 Men. So who decides when you get to, you can't do 1.5 Men?
No, and that was clearly revealed when they had to bring me back this year, I don't know what to tell you, man. I'm here and I'm ready. They're not. Bring it,
When are you scheduled to start shooting again?
I believe August of 2014 at this pace. I don't know. It's supposed to be like the 28th or the 29th. That's what it is. It's the 29th of the non-leap year.
All right. So that was almost 14 years ago. And then all of a sudden it blew up after that. Charlie called us, I think, 3 consecutive days, and he was clearly on something. We didn't know exactly what was going on. He dropped the winning and Tiger Blood. And then he came out with a New York Times bestselling book, The Book of Sheen, and his Netflix documentary, a.k.a. Charlie Sheen. So I said to Fritzy, it's time to have Charlie back on. So I'm thinking, now we talked to him a couple of days ago, and I thought he would give credit to us in the book or the documentary for the interviews that started all of this. Everything that happened to him, the falling out, getting fired, whatever he was smoking, whoever he was with, everything that he went through. So my first question was, what role did this show play in all of this mess?
What role? You mean this show that we're on right now?
My show, 2011. When you called.
Interesting. I don't have any specific recollection of any fallout or any positive response from it. Did it go sideways?
Yes.
On your show? Oh, it did.
Yes. Yeah.
And were you personally put in the line of fire or in any danger?
No, but you called in and then you said, hey, ask Dan where I am. And you were on the outside of CBS, Chuck Lorre, and then it exploded after that because you're basically saying, F this, I'm off the show, I'm out of here. And then it went crazy.
Wow. So was it like I announced it with you?
Yeah.
Interesting.
Wait, you don't remember any of this?
I don't. Do you have a clip you can play?
I can send you a clip to remind you. But
wow.
That's when you gave us winning and you gave us Tiger Blood. All of a sudden the networks are calling me. They want me to go on these shows to talk about you. And
and to ask like why I reached out to you to send like my final message or to light the lamp.
They couldn't get you, so they thought that I said, I don't know Charlie, but they wanted me to speak on your behalf. I sent you a text and said, hey, all of these network shows and Entertainment Tonight, they want me on. I'm not going to go on and speak on your behalf, just so you know. And then you I think, said F them, and then I think you did winning, and then that was it. So
Wow. Okay. Yeah, I'm sorry that I that was scrubbed from my my memory.
I thought there was going to be something in the book about it. I thought, okay, because there is part of me that felt bad about that
Oh,
because you were on three times in a row, and I remember having a conversation with my wife. I said, I feel like I'm taking advantage of Charlie because you were clearly a wounded animal.
absolutely. Yeah.
And
But I think I would look at that more through the lens of that I saw you as a safe outlet, that I saw you as a confidant I could reach out to and deliver some type of message that I couldn't elsewhere, regardless of how insane that message was at the time.
But you were taking batting practice at UCLA. And I saw this, and you had a message to the team: stay off crack and drink chocolate milk. And so I said to Fritzy, and that is great advice. And
Thank you. Yeah.
I said to Fritzy, see if we can get Charlie on. And then that's when it exploded. But it started just because you were taking BP and you were giving a message to UCLA baseball.
Yeah, no, that was, I guess, one of just the last traces of a healthy, wholesome moment. It's interesting because Tony Todd, I think you know Tony, right? He's been in my life for 1,000 years. Lovely man. He says that in that specific group that I delivered, because the coach said, "Hey, go talk to the guys." I think they'd lost the final game, and were a little bit down. I think it was the same core team members, and he said, "Go see if you can give them a pep talk." And so I was like trying to come up with something on like the 50-foot walk, and that's when I said, "Don't smoke crack and drink chocolate milk." It turned into a T-shirt. But he says that Trevor Bauer was in that grouping.
Oh boy.
The members that I shared that wisdom with. And there was a couple others that are now playing professionally. So that's pretty interesting. So clearly none of them smoked crack but obviously kept drinking chocolate milk, right?
Tougher to write the book or do the documentary?
Write the book for sure. Yeah. Because the doc it was difficult. The doc required so much research and archival and just building the visual representation from all the materials for the whole backstory and the journey. But the book was me alone staring at a screen night after night.
Do you ever get mad at yourself while you're writing the book?
Interesting question. Mad at myself for you mean like on a literary level, or for like writing for the things that happen that I'm now sharing?
The things
yeah,
you're
there
sharing.
were moments. Yeah, there were moments. It was exciting to tell the stories, for the first time how they actually happened. But it was also there were moments of reflection where I was like, wow, man, how did it go there? How did it, where was, I don't want to say like, where was someone to step in and tap me on the shoulder and pull the train back into the station. There were a few moments where that could have happened, and but I don't know if I would have been receptive to it. But yeah, no, some of the anger did come out of telling these stories in detail as they occurred, but still, like, it didn't. This could have been a 3-page chapter and not 25 one.
Is that your home where you are right now?
Correct. Yeah.
Do you have any of your memorabilia? I remember you saying you knew you had too much memorabilia when you had a Ted Williams away jersey or something in your underwear drawer.
It was a 41 road jersey. How about that? And back then, I think they had like one, home and one road jersey.
Yeah.
Well, it was right next to my underwear drawer. There wasn't a case built yet for it. I'd run out of wall and hallway space. But I knew in that moment, yeah, I've arrived at a place of hoarding, and that's not good. That helps no one,
Do you have any of that memorabilia around?
I don't. I don't.
You
Just a
sold
few
it?
baseballs. I did. Yeah. Do you remember Josh Evans, Josh Leland Evans from Leland's, the big
Oh,
auction
yeah.
house?
Yeah.
Yeah. He sadly passed away like 4 or 5 years ago, and but he put together the Charlie Sheen auction. But it didn't include the Ruth contract and the Ruth ring. I think that was done separate of that, or from that.
Did any part of you ever wish you weren't an actor or hadn't become an actor?
Um, yeah, yeah. There's been moments where I've had those feelings, I've had those thoughts, and just tried to imagine what any of it would have looked like without that.
Because it kind of gave you a hall pass. You were really good at your craft, but because of that, then it opened
Thank you.
doors and windows and, you know, everything. But
Oh yeah, no,
that,
it was all access,
yeah.
backstage and then some. But yeah, but I think, one of the central themes of the book is that it's all about choices, and it's like I'll be out in the world and people will say, they'll see like a lot of attention and photos and autographs, stuff like that. And they'll say, does this ever bother you? And I say, well, if I don't want to be bothered, the solution to that is don't leave your house, right? And then the other side of that is, you worry about the day they stop coming up, right?
Yeah.
So just sort of on the choices front, all access is an amazing place to wind up. But it's on the person to then navigate the stuff to embrace and the stuff to not do that with, and I sort of went for all of it.
Was there an actor who outpartied you?
Um, that's still alive.
Well, they hopefully they're not dead because of outpartying you, but
Right.
like a
Yeah.
musician or an actor who outpartied you.
I think there would more likely be a rock star. You mean that I actually saw that with my own eyes,
Yeah.
that we partied together and
You
I had
tapped out.
I called it a night
Yeah.
and he kept going.
Yeah.
There was actually one guy. There was one guy, and it's sucks because he ultimately got clean and then died in a freaking car crash outside of Vegas, and that was Sam Kinison.
Oh.
Sam would you couldn't keep up with him. It was there were nights when I was like, all right, buddy, thank you. This is amazing. These last 4 days have been amazing. But I'm gonna I'm gonna go sleep for about 70 hours, and he'd still be going.
Dang. He's Charlie
Yeah.
Sheen, the New York Times best-selling book, The Book of Sheen, Netflix documentary, aka Charlie Sheen, are both out now. Give me the movie role that kind of represents you, who you really are.
In a film that I was in, or
Yeah.
somebody else's movie
That you were in. Like, what role did you not really have to play a role?
I think the closest example would be Two and a Half Men. I know you said film.
Yeah, but that
I think that's the one that really borrowed from just a lot of, but it borrowed from the fun stuff. It didn't borrow from the dangerous, crazy stuff.
how do you apologize? When or do you or can you apologize?
Yeah, and this is not trying to be cute, but hopefully, and most of the time, in person, and it's funny. I was just talking to a buddy of mine about this just the other day. That and I told him that we can't insist. We can't determine other people's timelines for them to come to a place to be receptive, to be open to that message. But there's still people, there's still folks out there that I need to have a sit down with, or just at least get on a phone or, one of these. But for the most part, the people in my life who matter the most, that's already taken place, and it's an ongoing process.
But even in the documentary, your brother talks fondly about you. The dad stuff is heartbreaking because your dad, he loved you, but he couldn't get you, and that's kind of what hit me pretty hard. There is you're right there in front of him, and he can't really do anything about it.
Yeah, that was one of the moments for me watching it. I think I say in the doc, I can't imagine being my dad.
Yeah.
And then people are asking, well, why wasn't he in it, right? And he watched the rough cut of the first episode, and he was over the moon about it and super supportive, and he was, he's honored and flattered that how we included him. And he said, look, I'm already in it. I don't need to give today's commentary on all that stuff. It's better telling the story like that.
More likely to do a sequel to Major League or Wall Street?
Major League. Yeah. In fact, it's interesting. Not to get out over my skis with this, but there has been a dialogue about it as
you've been
recent
out
as
over your skis a long time, Charlie.
That's true. That's true. Yeah, it was.
Yeah. So you got a script in the making here, or an idea for?
No, but there's a company involved that is very interested, that I'm already in business with the doc. So that could deliver something I think the fans have been waiting for a long time. And don't worry, I'm not going to be a player. I would show up in the capacity of coach or manager or a pitching coach or something. But no, it's interesting. This was just discussed yesterday.
Do you still throw? Do you still take batting practice? You do any of that?
I got a bad shoulder I'm dealing with. There's a thing that Tony Todd and I do on our birthday, his and mine, every year, where we throw without dropping a single toss. We throw the amount of tosses that equals our age. So it's been this thing, and we hope to one day, count to 100.
You're lucky to have Tony in your life.
I am.
Yeah, it probably kept you alive a few times.
But he was just always knowing that he was, either right down the hall or right at the next table or at the table or just, along for that part of the journey. No, it was a lovely security blanket. And I don't want to reduce him to that, because he was was in those moments so much more than that. But it was a comforting energy. His was.
Great to talk to you again. Good luck with the
likewise.
book, and stay happy.
That's great advice, and I'm going to follow it.
And once again, don't do crack and drink chocolate milk.
Noted, and you have my word.
Thank you, Charlie.
Right on. Thanks, Dan. I appreciate it. Be well.
The book is Sheen, and his Netflix documentary, a.k.a. Charlie Sheen. Both are out now. Wow, 14 years ago, and he had no recollection of it. But he looked good, looked refreshed, and hopefully he can get some jobs, start acting again.